Hi, everyone. This is your oath of honesty and moral conduct. I want to start by saying that as we move through this course, my goal really is to support you and also build a relationship with you where you can feel successful and supported. In order to build a successful relationship with someone, you need to be able to know them a little bit and you also need to be able to trust them. To accomplish this on my end, I'm committed to being available to you throughout the entire semester for assistance and support. I'm going to be answering all your questions with honesty, and beginning right now, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. As a person, I strongly value compassion, kindness, and honesty. And these are things that I think have always been true about me ever since I was a little kid. However, when you start working with families and children, and especially in special education, they continue to grow and they've definitely gotten stronger within me. I also recognize that times have changed since I have been in community college. If I had to look something up when I was in community college, I definitely wouldn't have been able to Google it or use ChatGPT. I would have to go down to the library. Not that those things didn't exist, but they definitely weren't at the same function. Now, that being said, I want you to be successful. For me, this means mastering the content, knowing the student learning outcomes, and being really proud of the work that you submit. Now, these pieces cannot come to life with the use of AI or without really accessing the modules. So, in full transparency, I want you to know that I will be using a system to check for AI and plagiarism. It's called Turnitin. It's fairly accurate. It's actually really accurate. Any program outside of Word or Google Docs was potentially could be flagged. This includes programs that help with translation, programs like Grammarly that help with your wording and your word choice. And really, technically, when you think about it, utilizing these programs does change your work and how you choose to write. I also want to be transparent about what I can see through Canvas. I can have the ability to check and see what you're participating in, how much you're participating in. I just want you to be aware of that. Now, this is my least favorite conversation to have, and I'm hoping that by having it early on in the semester, we can kind of give ourselves time to reflect and make sure we're making good choices so you can have the outcome in the course that you would like. Now, I'd like to take a moment and ask you some questions and just have you answer thoughtfully and with reflection. My first question is, what would you like to leave the course knowing? And now there's a significant amount of knowledge that hopefully you'll leave the course knowing around children and families and communities and how all of those things interact. They're really going to be able to provide you with a foundation of how to be effective and equitable in working with children and families. My next question to you is, how would the use of AI, plagiarism, or cheating rob you of that goal, of your goal? And simply put, I think it just means that you're not going to be learning the material. If you use any of those things, you just won't learn the material. And I know it seems like, well, I might be able to just look it up later, but it doesn't really work that way, especially if you're planning on working with children and families. They're going to want to have, in order to work successfully with children and families, they need to be able to trust you. And that means you're going to have the information ready. And you're also going to have the skills in order to build that trusting relationship. And those are all things that come out of this course. Now, my next question to you is, what value is there in learning without AI? So without using AI, what value is that? And the first thing is you really strengthen your ability to learn overall. The less you use AI, the more readily your brain is ready to learn. You also retain the information you do learn, and you're able to take that new skill set and knowledge and be more marketable in the workforce. You're also better equipped to work with a variety of families and children from diverse backgrounds. And if that wasn't really enough, it also makes you a better parent and community member, especially in this class in particular. Now, if you do choose to use AI, who else may suffer from your choices? And selfishly, I'm going to start with me. I'm going to suffer because I don't care what AI has to say about the assignments. I want to know what you know. It's not really valuable use of my time to read AI answers. In order to support you, I need to know what you know. Additionally, your fellow classmates are also going to suffer because the more that students use AI, the more policies become restrictive, and the more we have to do things like this as professors and instructors is try and weed out who is using it. Additionally, in particular to this class, the children are going to suffer. If you plan on working with children, you need to acquire this knowledge. Not having it can inhibit your ability to provide an equitable and safe environment to them, in addition to lacking an understanding that you can provide services that are positive and have positive interactions. Also, families will suffer if you plan on working with families. The information provides you with the tools to build positive relationships and understand a multitude of factors impacting families. So really, it serves you not to use AI because you want to be able to do the work you want to do eventually correctly and in a positive fashion. Okay. What can you do in the place of using AI? If you're struggling, what can you do? First thing I think of is come see me. That's why I'm here. That's what office hours are here for. I want to support you. And you can also go to the Writing Center. They're here to help. This is especially a great resource if you are someone who is turning to AI in order because you're maybe English is not your first language. The Writing Center is a great resource. Another thing we can do is talk to me about other ways to submit your information and your knowledge. I know a lot of these assignments look like written submissions, but if that is something that is not really your best skill set and you don't feel great about written submissions, then you can come to me and we can discuss it. There's other ways to demonstrate knowledge. It could be a project or an interview or a presentation. I'm open to all of that. I just want to know what you know. And the last question is really for me, and that is what will happen if you do use AI and it's flagged for AI? The first time your work will be given a 0 and it'll be remain a 0 until you come talk to me and we can discuss it. If additional work is flagged after that, it's just going to remain a 0. All right, with all that being said, I'm going to ask you to make a pledge to me and yourself. And this is how I would like you to write in the box. I pledge to complete my work without the use of AI. This includes, but is not limited to, programs to help me with my word choice, translation, and generation of ideas. If I need assistance, I will reach out to my instructor and visit the Writing Center. I will make these choices to ensure I benefit participating in this class and leave with the knowledge I set out to acquire. All right. I know some of you are thinking, why did we have to do this? But it's just, I want to make sure we're all on the same page as we get started. I really look forward to getting to know all of you. I will see you in the next video. As always, please reach out if you have any questions. I'm here to support you.